everyone's favorite, it's hand technique. All right, so the four main types of grips. First, we have the three matched grips. So German, your thumbs are looking at each other, right? Turn your wrists a little more, and that's American grip. So your thumbs and sticks are coming off more at an angle. American grip is the grip that most drummers feel comfortable playing with. Then, if you turn even more, we have French grip. So French grip, your thumbs are straight up, your sticks are following a straight up path, perpendicular to the ceiling. And it's more of a finger control grip. It's actually called French timpani grip. Then you have traditional grip. So traditional grip was developed when drummers were attaching straps to the shell of their drums and marching with them. So what that did is as you slung it over your shoulder, the drum head would be coming off at an angle like this. So, instead of playing the drum like this, drummers dropped their elbow and arm and adopted this type of grip so it would be a little more comfortable. There are four main type of drumstick stroke variations. So the first is the full stroke. You're starting up here and you're ending up here. This is an accented note. The next is the non-accented note. You're starting down here and you're ending down here. Then the two weird ones. So we have the non-accented note setting up for the accented note. And then we have the accented note setting up for the non-accented note. You can practice all four with an exercise called down, tap, up, full. You start with a full stroke, down, tap, up, and a full. All right. Down, tap, up, full. You don't want to just go down, tap, up, full. You want to really isolate each one and work on your down-up technique. There are three types of impact variations. One is the single hit. Right? The second is the double bounce, where you're allowing the stick to bounce. The third is the multiple bounce. So you're literally digging the stick into the head, but trying to relax enough so that it's creating multiple bounces. No matter what you see a drummer doing, they're using one of those four grips: German, American, French, or traditional. Generally, they're using, no matter what they're playing, one of those four different types of stick stroke variations: down, tap, up, or full. And they're going to be using one of the three different types of impacts: single, double, multiple bounce. The whole trick is learning to manipulate these sticks. As drummers, we play the sticks. We don't play drum sets. Our instrument is the sticks, and learning how to control the sticks is directly relative to what we can accomplish behind a drum set. So, stick control, not just the book by Mr. Stone, is imperative. It's everything. So when we talk about technique, people having dirty chops or clean chops, what we're talking about is manipulation of these silly, elongated wooden objects. So to practice your technique, make sure the flight path of your stick is going straight up and down. How do you do that and avoid some sort of weird elliptical motion? Relax. Gravity will take it straight up and down. As long as your grip isn't kind of off to one side, if you relax, the stick will be going up and down. You want to work on your wrist and your fingers, not just one or the other. Very, very important. And while you're playing a set, of course you're going to be switching back between the two, or even different advanced techniques depending on what kind of things you're trying to pull off on the set. So a great finger exercise would be to go through each finger, right? So keep this as your fulcrum. Great wrist exercise would be if you have a table or something where you can set your arm down and lock it, and then only use your wrist. It looks kind of stupid, but it'll help develop your wrists big time. Also play with different weighted sticks. So a lot of people say marching sticks. The problem is they're thicker. They're a thicker stick, and that's going to create a difference in how you practice versus how you perform. So ideally, you'll want to find a stick that weighs more, but has the same relative thickness as the sticks that you like to play with. Throw a towel down over your bouncy practice pad. Playing on surfaces that don't bounce is a great way to develop your wrist and finger technique. Ultimately, you want to develop double strokes or a finger technique that's such that you can be carrying diddle type rudiments around the set very evenly. And what happens is the more you develop finger technique, the more you eliminate the middleman, which is rebound. So for example, a nice bouncy snare drum is going to give you a different sound than a 16-inch floor tom that isn't maybe quite so bouncy. So by working with surfaces that don't bounce, you're going to be training yourself under those same types of conditions. Maybe the most important thing is just to have patience. Working on technique takes a long time, even if you're practicing hours and hours per day. You might be thinking, you know, well, my fingers just don't work like that, or they don't grip the stick that way, or they're scrunching together, you're having some sort of issue. That's totally normal. Human beings weren't really meant to do this from an evolutionary standpoint. So it takes training yourself and conditioning to be able to operate drumsticks that way. So be patient.